Do you believe everybody is on the starting grid? And they are. And we are off. Right-hander to Central Avenue, and now down on to Picnic Way. Martini with the lead. Grenon, Wang, Savulev, and Pearson, the top five. In a big battle here, trying to get around Alexei Savulev, and Sanders, catches the barrier and around. Gavin Sanders with big-time contact there into the inside wall. And now they're continuing to spin out around him. That's Jay Lasko and Alexander Cattermole. Oh, man, that was a big shot there for Frattini. And again, that's not insignificant. That could be problems here for Dario Frattini down the stretch. Problems. Dario Frattini has gone around from the lead. Frattini wide into the runoff there. Easy braking zone to misjudge, and that is exactly what happened there to Frattini. 2.35 miles, 14 turns, and a bump there from Frattini up to Alexei. And maybe another shot there. That was awfully close. And yes, Alexei wide and hard into the barriers. Elbows out, and it's not done yet as more contact between Levine and Frattini. Some aggressive moves, and Frattini around. Frattini with the assist. Alexei. There will be no dive bomb to finish it off in Detroit Belle Isle. Maxime Grenon around the final bend and comes to the line to win for the second time on the Sunday Top Split Strength of Field broadcast for the Michelin Challenge.
A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon, endangered by combatants. Where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Not open here now. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation. Our championship week here on Turn 200 concludes with what was going to be a championship fight between two of the heavyweights of electric car racing here on iRacing. More on that in a second. But we do have for you the final race of the 2023 Season 4 official championship for the Top Split Strength of Field broadcast here for the Michelin Challenge, and it is around the Charlotte Roval. Charlotte Roval is always a tough one. It's even tougher with a car that handles like the PMR. Regardless, these drivers are ready for 20 minutes of duking it out here for the final Top Split broadcast of the season here for week number 12. It's Tommy Cook, it's Matt Williamson. Are we ready for some electric car racing here in the virtual Queen City?
Definitely more than ready. I mean, if you've been following the series here for the last 11 weeks, this being the 12th and final week, you'll know that when we go to Rovals in these cars, it is always a treat, and we are in for something special again here today.
This is the Roval we probably utilized the least of the oval part of, but still, plenty of places to sneak a draft, plenty of passing opportunities here through the Charlotte Roval, and especially coming out of the bus stop into that really tight chicane. It's proven to be difficult here in qualifying. So I think we could be in for another special moment here for the Mission R Challenge and what has been our first broadcasted season of official race competition here on Turn 200 ever. Driver response, I think, has been pretty good. Pretty steady viewership all throughout the season, so we appreciate everybody that has come and supported the Mission R. A flourishing community all of a sudden after it looked to be in some dire straits at the beginning of its life here on iRacing, but it's in a pretty healthy spot here at the end of Season 4 of 2023. What are some of your thoughts here as we are getting ready to put the final chapter in the books for our first official broadcasted season?
Yeah, it's something that we jumped into, didn't know a whole lot about the car or really many of the drivers that we would be able to see throughout the series, but yeah, it's been super fun, really cool to learn a new car. The all-electric vehicle here, of course, is quite a bit different than anything else on the service, and getting to know that car, getting to know the drivers, and really getting to see the show that these drivers have put on. We have been blessed with some really great racing throughout the last 11 weeks.
Well, a minute 50 left on the clock, but a minute left in qualifying due to inactivity. So we'll just tell you right now, Championship Sunday is off. JJ Wang for the All Divisions Points Championship already had that title locked up. So JJ Wang, the champion, already after his win on Thursday in the Strength of Field race here at the Charlotte Roval. And then we were going to have a Sunday exclusive Strength of Field Broadcast Cup Championship battle between JJ Wang and Dario Frattini, and had all the circumstances lined up to lay out for you there. But Dario Frattini is not here. So that gives 2 championships out of 2 to JJ Wang, who right now is third on the starting grid here. Again, the Thursday top split winner as well in the Strength of Field race that we don't broadcast. So JJ Wang, all things are looking up for him as he won at the Daytona road course, which is technically a Roval, the moto layout utilized there. So JJ Wang should be another favorite here, but as we just lost the inactivity timer, so we got 30 seconds left. We'll say congratulations and a thank you to JJ Wang. He was the one that brought us in here to the Mission R Challenge, so very thankful that he had us in mind to broadcast this very unique official series. And congratulations to him as well. And we'll give him his flowers at the end of the broadcast, no matter where he finishes. 5 seconds left, and JJ Wang, we mentioned, will be starting in third. But how about Olivia Hayward? Put in a pelter of a lap on their second time around. And Olivia was the winner at Watkins Glen to kick this whole shebang off 12 weeks ago. So Olivia with the pole here this afternoon. Gavin Sanders made his debut last week. It did not go to plan at Belle Isle. Gavin Sanders, the winner at the Roval here in Truck 200 competition, looking for his first official broadcast win on the channel, the winningest driver in Turn 200. Then it's JJ Wang and Pierre Shu who will be making his debut start here on the Sunday broadcast. Maxime Grenon, last week's winner, and Jamie Hamel-Smith has had a rough go of things the last couple of weeks. Jamie starts in 6th. Ellis Spice and JJ Wang, the only 2 drivers to start every race on Sunday afternoons this season. Ellis will start 7th. Thor Tola, Georgi Trepsik, and Alexei Savulev round out the top 10. Rest of the starting grid will scroll by as we got everybody out on the grid. The green flag is waving. We're underway at the Charlotte Roval. A couple of drivers do not get a good start back in the field. But Olivia Hayward in the top 3 with a good getaway. Oh, trouble Pierre Schuh around, and that is going to cause a huge stack up here. Holy cow, 4, 5, 6 cars even.
Yeah, that's a lot of cars. They're still slow. You see a couple drivers just electing to jump to the pits here. That was not a good spot for an incident to happen, and it was a massive stack up and pile up.
A short race for some, possibly even for Timothy Reed, who we haven't got to call out here in nearly the entire length of the season. Reed involved in that fantastic finish we saw at Watkins Glen in week 1, and his race may be over just as it was getting going. Hayward through the bus stop. Gavin Sanders looking to make up a bit of time here. Sanders was battling for position in the top 5 last week at Detroit Belle Isle when he clipped a wall that sort of jutted out into the track, and that put him on the back foot for the rest of the race. Finished just inside of the top 10 in his first go-around. Things looking much better here for Gavin Sanders this time as he is chasing down Olivia Hayward for the top spot after one completed lap.
And we mention it a lot here in these broadcasts, but cold tires in these cars is quite treacherous, and I have to believe that's a little bit of what caused that first incident there in the first couple of turns. Here's Thortilla and Jamie Hamel-Smith. They are fighting for the 5th position here.
So after the opening lap accident, we have lost Dustin Herner. Tiago Fidelis has had his meatball flag cleared, so he is clear to return to the track if he so wishes.
Got a pretty large group towards the front of this field. Gavin Sanders and Olivia Hayward have gapped 3rd through 7th by a little bit here, but Maxime Grenon, Jamie Hamel-Smith, Thortilla, and Ellis Spice are all pretty close together here, along with J.J. Wang in 3rd.
Olivia Hayward a 10th quicker than Gavin Sanders last time around, and Hayward has the purple lap. Timothy Reed is cleared to come back to the track if he so chooses. Big gap back from J.J. Wang to Maxime Grenon, who, like you mentioned, leading the long train here from 4th on back. L. Smith looking for a way around here.
See really different lines being run here. Part of that, maybe Hamel-Smith trying to find a passing lane, passing opportunity. As they come on to the banked oval here, the tires, you can hear them. They do not like it. The car gets pretty light. You got to be careful getting back onto the banking here.
Sanders took a bit too much turtle through the bus stop there and lost about 2 car lengths. So Olivia Hayward has put a stop to the advance of Gavin Sanders for now. Now that can all change so quickly here at the Roval. So many treacherous spots here.
Well, as we get farther into this race, these tires start heating up. It is going to get even worse for the drivers. Hamel-Smith looked to the inside there on Grenon. Wasn't quite able to put the car underneath.
Here we go. Maybe not.
Yeah, that's a tough place to pass on the inside there. Hamel-Smith probably going to try to look for a different opportunity, but now has Thor right behind at some points.
Gavin Sanders closing the gap. It's a car length as they head into the braking zone for the bus stop. Hayward, a lot of curbing there. Sanders able to hang tough.
And you mentioned it, the one thing that's different about this Roval, there's not nearly as much opportunity for drafting because of where the bus stop is and then the chicane, obviously, on the front stretch. It's quite a bit different than it was at Daytona.
Well, if Mel Smith can't get the pass done for fourth here, I'm sure Thor Tulla would love to take that fifth position.
I would believe so. All of them are starting to stack up a little bit here behind Grenon. JJ Wang has gotten a good gap out in front of them now.
Yeah, Wang's sort of on his own little island, just like he is in real life.
And here is the fight for the lead. Sanders closing in again on the oval. But throughout the field, it's been proven to be a tough course to pass with. You're going to have to set it up nicely, or you're going to have to maybe use the bumper. We've seen a bit. Oh, no!
Sanders! Oh, Sanders around. Wang is through. Precarious position with this big onrush of traffic coming in for Gavin Sanders. That's 3 spots lost, maybe 4, as that is Ellis Spice working around.
Wow, and that's how quickly it happens. Sanders just completely lost the rear there.
It was actually Hamel Smith, not Ellis Spice. Spice behind Gavin Sanders here. Well, that makes Olivia Hayward's job a little bit easier here.
What
3 seconds back to JJ Wang now.
Oh, and Hamel Smith did not get onto the oval very well. Little bit loose there. But Sanders is going to get back by him. Ellis Spice is going to have a decent opportunity here as well.
Well, Sanders is going to be driving angry now. But these tires don't like a whole lot of temperature, and that just went to prove it there.
Well, that's going to be the benefit for Hayward now. A little bit of a gap will be able to manage tire temperature much easier than you would with somebody chasing you down. JJ Wang a couple of seconds behind Olivia Hayward.
I will say that gap at the start of this lap was almost 3 seconds, and it's now down under 2. So JJ Wang is closing the gap to Olivia Hayward, but that could be, to your point, Hayward managing tires here.
Wow, Mel Smith, awful loose, a big wiggle. Usually when you wiggle like that in these cars, you're not able to keep it going forward, but Mel Smith, a heck of a job to keep that one underneath.
And now the fight is on. This group is now for a podium position. Thor Tulla sees Gavin Sanders approaching rapidly, and he wants to get around Maxime Grenon.
Tommy, there's been a problem for the lead. Olivia Hayward's now in second.
Oh, big problems. We'll have to figure out what happened to Olivia Hayward there as JJ Wang now assumes the top spot. That happened so quickly.
Had to have been an off track. I'm going to try to find it here.
We saw that gap closing rapidly, but not that rapidly.
Here's a look at the replay. And there it is. Olivia Hayward, through that sweeping right-hander, just loses the rear tires and does a little half spin. Keeps going, but it's more than enough for JJ Wang to slip through.
And out of the chicane onto the front stretch at start-finish. Olivia Hayward more contact with the wall. As Thor Tulla, I believe, has had a problem through that chicane as well. He is now back to the 8th position.
Well, this is what we talked about when we start getting halfway into this thing. Those tires get hot, and it is so difficult to keep them underneath of you. Gavin Sanders is all over the back of Grenon now. Has the help of the draft as well. We'll close in quickly here.
And what happened to Thor was Thor had a bit of a bobble out of the chicane. Gavin Sanders did not react in time, and Sanders actually turned Thor Tola. Sanders on the march back up, wants to finish on the podium here. After the spin through this part of the track, which has proven to be so tricky here, the chicane right in front of the start-finish line. The gap is... Oh, boy.
Wow, Sanders tried to stick the nose underneath. That was awful close to contact.
Grenon shuts the door, but Sanders will have a good drive off here. Maybe an opportunity to get this pass done before they get back onto the oval. The gap from Wang to Hayward was closing, but it is now stabilized right at about 2 seconds, as here is Sanders looking to go around the outside, squeezes Grenon, and then has to check up hard not to turn Grenon.
On board with Hamel Smith during that incident as well. Hamel Smith had to check up pretty big time as well.
I was going to say, nice job by Jamie Hamel Smith not to pile in and make that worse than it could have been.
That's allowed Ella Spice to close back in. These four all very close together. Ella Spice with a bit of a moment there.
And here goes Sanders again, inside of Grenon, into the curb, nearly hopped up into the right rear tire of Grenon. And once again, Grenon survives, but for how much longer? Sanders chomping at the bit to get back onto the podium.
Race first in the chat. They think there's going to be a bump and run by the time this thing's over. I would not be surprised.
We've already had a couple. Who's to say we can't have a couple more? 7 minutes left to go. This is Sanders again, going for the outside maneuver into the bus stop. Clear on Grenon this time. Got to make it stick, and will. Now here's Hamel Smith with an opportunity. Hamel Smith will fall back in the line, but Gavin Sanders, after challenging for the lead, spinning, dropping back to 6, is now back up onto the podium.
Hamel Smith almost snuck in there to get a nose.
And Olivia Hayward is going around. This is Hayward right now with Sanders and Grenon.
Wow, Hayward with another issue is now in the dogfight.
Things were looking so good for Olivia Hayward here this afternoon. The problem's compounding here, and now Hayward off the podium. Grenon now in third. Oh, and Hayward with a bump. That's Hamel Smith.
Hayward really struggling with the tire temperature management here, I think.
I did not see what happened to Olivia Hayward there, but that's a problem that we've seen multiple drivers have coming out of the front stretch chicane.
Oh, there was an issue there. I just went to the replay. Ella Spice has gone around, and I think there was some contact there.
Ella Spice cutting through the bus stop, even though Ellis came to a complete stop during the spin, still cut through the bus stop, so we'll have to serve a slowdown here. Wow.
And this is with Graham Wildman, and Graham goes for the crossover to the inside, and when Ellis tries to make the entry into the corner, Graham, the nose is there. Goodness gracious. This has been a wild one.
Biggest mover of the race right now is Hinky on
Hayward is
Snedeker.
around!
Oh,
Graham
no!
is around as well.
Goodness gracious. What is happening?
Hayward, that big slide coming onto the oval. Graham Wildman tried to slow down, but just couldn't get it accomplished.
Man, oh man.
That allows Ellis Spice, who had just gone around a lap earlier, to get back through. So Spice up to 5th again now.
So JJ Wang with a comfortable 9-second lead, although Gavin Sanders is eating into that quite a bit here. Only 4 minutes left to go. I don't even know where to look anymore.
There's a battle for 6th between Thortilla and Graham Wildman now. That's the closest battle on the track. Emil Smith is starting to reel in Maxime Grenon as well. That would be for a podium position.
And what I was about to say was that biggest mover of the race is Henke on Steneker right now. He's trying to fend off Alexei Savulev, but he's got Olivia Hayward right in front of him now. Two minutes 40. I think we're going to have 3 laps left to go, although it's going to be close. Gerard Boldu, a tough race for him. He has been disqualified due to the incident limit.
While we hopefully have just a second here. We'll look back at what happened to Hayward the second time. I was trying to look at that when more action unfolded right in front of our eyes. And it's, just hits the curbing hard on the front stretch chicane. Turned all the way backwards. That's what put Hayward into the fight around 5th place, and then another issue after that we saw with Graham Wildman behind. Now Hayward down to 8th. Tough day.
Closest battle right now is between Grenon and Hamel Smith. Also, Wildman, Tola, and Wildman and Tola. And Timothy Reed, who's a lap down, is in that mix as well. It sounded like Wildman and Tola had contact when Graham retook that position. And Thortola's been used up here this afternoon.
I mean, I think there's a lot of drivers that have been used up at this point.
I believe we are coming to the checkers. Gonna be close, though. 48 seconds left to go, and JJ Wang has just hit oval, turn 1 and 2. And JJ going to be happy this race isn't 25 minutes, otherwise he may have a problem with Gavin Sanders. Sanders has been putting in some absolute heaters to close the gap, but is going to be a few minutes short of catching JJ Wang without an issue here. JJ has enough gap back if he wants to use a little clock management.
Grenon jumps the turtle through the bus stop, but was able to keep it going straight. That was quite the move.
And JJ crossed the line. This will be the white flag. He had 8 seconds left to go.
And you're right, Sanders has put about a second in on J.J. Wang over the last lap. 2 or 3 more laps and Sanders would likely be there. Of course, you got to imagine JJ's probably saving, trying to keep those tires cool and not wreck, as almost everybody else has here today.
When Hayward spun, the gap back to Gavin Sanders from J.J. Wang was 10.5 seconds. It's going to finish around 3 seconds here. You're right, probably being a little conservative, J.J. Wang is. But he has no need to be. You know why? Because he's coming to his second checkered flag of the season here on Sunday. He's the Sunday champ, and he's the season champ. J.J. Wang closes out his perfect official season. J.J. Wang with another victory in the Mission R Challenge. What an up-and-down day for Gavin Sanders. He'll finish in second. And Maxime Grenon with some space back to Hamel Smith. Maxime will take the final spot on the podium. I think several drivers are happy this one is over.
Well, we kind of thought this would be a tough one, and boy, did it prove to be true.
J.J. Wang with a victory lap. And when I said he was on his own island earlier, I did mean that quite literally. He lives in Hawaii. That wasn't a knock on his character. I should point that out, I guess, for anybody who doesn't know. Trying to do burnouts here. Some traction control on this car might make him look a little sloppy, but a well-deserved attempt here for J.J. Wang. The double champ and the race winner here today. Eat your heart out, Andrew Schulte. He gets 3 trophies today. All right. We'll get some podium and championship interviews here momentarily. Full finishing rundown here. J.J. Wang, Gavin Sanders, Maxime Grenon in the top 3. Jamie Hamel Smith in 4th. Ellis Spice in 5th. Graham Weldman in 6th. Thortula in 7th. Olivia Hayward, Alexei Savilev, and Hank Jan Steneker round out the top 10. Lyle Jadaki in 11th. Dustin Meaden in 12th. Georgie Trepsick at 13th. Alexander Catamol with a 14th place finish. And a lap down finish for Tiago Fidelis, Pierre Shu, Timothy Reed, Rory Melia. I can't read apparently. And Gerard Boldu with the DNF, as well as Dustin Herner, caught up in that lap 1 accident. And that is the final full finishing rundown of Season 4 for the 2023 season. As, what just happened to my Discord? Okay, we're back. We'll go ahead and pull in third place finisher here, Maxime Grenon. Thanks for the time here. Congrats on the podium. I think you were one of several drivers here who are happy to see this race over, if I had to guess.
Oh yeah, this is a truly, truly, truly awful track. I really dislike it, and by lap 3 my fronts were done. I was just, okay, I just gotta park at every single chicane. It's my only way to defend, and obviously it was the strategy today.
Well, if your tires are done on lap 3, you had a lot of laps of absolute carnage and chaos to work your way through on dead tires. I mean, you saw it all in your battles here today.
Oh yeah, it was a struggle from lap 1 onwards. It's clearly I knew I was coming here off pace. First of all, I actually was quite hesitant to come here, so I just took the chance and said, "Oh, it's the last one of the season. Let's do it. Why not?"
Matt, what do you got?
Well, congratulations on the P3. Yeah, you kind of mentioned it. You had to hold off quite a few drivers, and it was a revolving door. It seemed like just about everybody had some sort of a spin or a half spin here. Very difficult.
Oh yeah, it's once you kill the rears and the fronts, it's really really easy to lose it under braking, or if you have to brake suddenly. The way the track cambers on the first sector is where you're gonna kill your tires, especially like turning and especially the fronts. I think that catches a lot of people off guard. I obviously didn't push too hard to make sure I don't spin or anything to save a little bit of tires. Well, the very few tires I had left, to be honest. So I just tried to finish the race. That was the main point today.
Well, 2 times a race winner this season, multi-time podium finisher. You're going to finish in the top 5 in the official standings. It was a great season for you. Anybody you want to shout out or say hello to here?
Well, you guys for hosting this. It's always good fun. It makes the racing a little bit more interesting every day. And JJ, Olivia, everybody who shows up every single Sunday. It's always a pleasure to race you guys. And maybe see you guys next season. I don't know what I'll do yet.
Well, here's to hoping. At least we'll get you out here for a couple Sundays. But appreciate the time. Nice job on the podium here.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.
Second place finish here for Gavin Sanders. Always a staple here in booth 200. But first time we're getting you up here on a Sunday afternoon. So an interesting race for you here today. The Mission R has looked like it's thrown you a steep learning curve here, but you overcame here today.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's a curious car. I'd say it continues to catch me out at all the wrong moments, obviously. But when everything goes kind of smoothly, I think I'm able to extract a significant amount of pace out of it. But it's fun. I like the qualifying a lot. It's very different, but challenging nonetheless. And I mean, I'm always up for a good challenge. So.
Well, we got you up here as a race winner at Charlotte Roval in Truck 200. This is, I mean, it's a big, heavy, unnatural car to be throwing on the Charlotte Roval, much like a truck, but so many different elements about this car than what we would normally see in a NASCAR vehicle. I mean, how difficult of a track is this to drive this car at?
This car track combo is just so much decreasing radius, and especially in this car with so much instant torque, you kind of find yourself inducing understeer for yourself quite a lot. So you got to be very active with the tools to keep it where you need it. And I think my kind of end goal after learning about it at Belle Isle was figuring out how to burn the rear axle off or enough to kind of give yourself the rotation that you need so you can be stable in the braking zones and then also turn for the corner. And I think I did a pretty good job of that today in terms of continuing the pace, keeping it on par with where I started throughout. But as a whole, this track is very complex. You just need a lot of patience on throttle and really good on the brakes. So I was saying in our little chit chat session that I've never actually had to brake at the 4.5, 5 board in a car that's not a NASCAR before. And on qualifying, it was sketchy, that's for sure. So very, very fun nonetheless. And I do really enjoy this track. It's unnatural, and I know it's not not all that glorious, but it's a pretty peculiar one that it produces a pretty big challenge for everyone and makes it exciting. So it's a good time all the time.
Matt, what do you got?
Well, congrats on the P2. Not only is it a challenge just to keep all 4 wheels going forward, but then you throw in the competition aspect, and you were trying to make a couple of passes after the first incident you had. How do you find the stones to try to make that pass on the outside into the braking zone right before the bus stop?
I did try it before, and it didn't really work out all that well. But with a big enough run, I think the big thing is beating the guy at the braking zone, because these cars are so difficult to get back straight again, and continue the rotation throughout the corner. So if you want to pass somebody and you're on a tighter line, you kind of have to set up for it, which gives the guy on the inside, and especially in a corner like that where it goes from inside to outside, the guy on the outside is going to have a massive run because he can just open the wheel and allow the car to accelerate. But yeah, apologies to I don't recall his name. I'm sorry. But the guy that I killed, again, just trying to time up runs. The big thing is beating the guy at the braking zone, getting 3/4 of a car in front, and then kind of diving in there and making it all work so you can clear off and just be clear for the exit, because that's the big crucial thing. I think I'm once again learning plenty about how to overtake in this vehicle. So
Shout outs for you as always.
big thanks to Stowe Motorsports, obviously you guys, for putting on this series. It's a very different and outside of the box versus what you're used to, obviously. So always appreciated to see another community growing. And then JJ, congrats on the championship for the SOF, and thanks for bringing me out. It's been pretty cool to take on something that I'm not at all used to, and also buy Blade on Steam.
Hey.
Not gonna miss it. You thought I wasn't gonna miss it. And to all the people watching, it's lots of fun. So good old Sunday afternoon.
Well, we'll hope to see you back here as much as possible next season.
But I'll see you guys tomorrow, though.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. How are we feeling about Mount Panorama, as Matt would call it?
Panorama. Oh, Jesus. Big fan. I think we've won 3 Bathurst 12 hours between me and my real life racing teammates. So plenty of laps. I would probably say over 300 to 400 laps there. The Super Formula will be different, but I think it's all transferable in the end. So very, very excited for another chaotic sort of combo. But yeah, I'm jacked up. I'll see you guys there.
Absolutely. We're all about different here on Turn 200. So looking forward to tomorrow, but go celebrate a hard-fought P2 here.
Heck yeah. Thanks, guys.
And we had on Thursday night, driver win a championship and the race. But here on Sunday afternoon, JJ Wang with the one-up. He wins 2 championships and the race here today. Nicely done, partner. Welcome back here to Booth 200, and congratulations.
Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, two perfect weeks and a prayer. That's basically my entire season. So I just hope that things fell my way. Just made sure that I just had what I had and don't push too much. And then if things fell my way, then it fortunately did. I needed a little bit of luck at the final 2, and I had it. But yeah, it's nice to just kind of keep the pressure up front.
Yeah, a sweep of the Roval for you this week in the strength of field races. And I don't know how Thursday was. I wasn't able to attend. But, I mean, today was as chaotic of a race as we've had all season here in the Mission R Challenge. I mean, really, we only called out your name when you passed cars that were slow on the track because they had just crashed. So, I mean, it's got to feel good to have a quiet day here today, no matter where you finish.
Yeah, I think, strangely, I think today was more difficult than Thursday. I lacked a little bit of pace in general compared to Thursday. And I think just the track balance just felt different. And then it really, really quickly unraveled into a track. It just felt like there's no grip out there for some reason. So I was kind of struggling on that. And then going offline was really scary, as I'm sure you saw on the broadcast. So whenever there's cars, I just made sure to just take it easy. And then Gavin was bearing down on me, but he I think it was just a little bit too much to make up at that point.
Matt, what do you got here?
Well, congrats on the race win, JJ. You kind of mentioned it a little bit here, but usually when we talk about incidents, we talk about tire temperature with this car, but it seemed like there was a little bit more out there that was causing problems. What was the big difference here today than kind of what we've seen in the past?
So I think I told Gavin this, and I think it showed in his like final confidence at the later of the stint. I don't know if Olivia knows this as well. I suspect she might, but um, Jeff Mathis from TWRS noticed that this tire at this specific track reaches critical mass pretty quickly. So there's actually not a lot you could do to really manage that. You just had to find out where the balance was and then just push. I tried to do that a bit more, but I just got kind of spooked by there's a couple of turns in the infield that just really gets really rotation happy, and then there's a couple of times I actually almost did the exact same thing as Olivia. So I think that played a difference today because of just how I'm pretty sure maybe more tracks on the schedule maybe was like that more, but Jeff told me last night really quickly. He was like, "Hey, just letting you know, there's not much you can do about the tire today. So just do your best to like manage it." And I think Gavin was playing with his tools a lot, so I'll have to pick his brains on that. But I think that was the big difference. There's just a critical load really quickly on the Roval, and it's largely because of the banked corners. Essentially, the two banked corners really ruins the tire.
Well, I mean, you're the double champ this season. You win the Sunday championship. You've won the All Divisions title as well. I mean, it seems like this has been a great season for the Mission R, and it seemed to be floundering a little bit, but it's found its footing now thanks to the efforts of you and Dario. I mean, and others as well. But the community is in a good spot here at the end of the season. And it's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, I do really enjoy this car. I know it's memed upon, and it's probably not up most motorsports fans' alley. But there's just a lot of fun with these cars. I just think they race pretty well. They're quite divey cars too, so you could just really dive it in, try to push somebody offline, sometimes without contact, and then it's side by side through some really twisty corners that you can maintain because of the torque. So I just find that very fun. And yeah, I appreciate you folks. I appreciate all the competitors coming out. It was a really good season in general. It was just really fun. It's probably one of the more stressful seasons I've ever, honestly, like put myself to. So, yeah, I'm real appreciative of how everything played out this season.
Anybody you want to say hello to here or shout out?
Yeah, absolutely. Big thanks to Gavin and Stowe Motorsports. The TWR folks shared a garage with him for the final two races. Big thanks to the Promix Flame folks for coming out here and giving. They're new to iRacing. They're R Factor 2 folks. I run with them in R Factor 2, and they're just giving iRacing a try. So I told them about the strength of field. They came out. They wanted to just kind of see what it's all about. So big thanks for them for giving this a shot. Yeah, thanks to you guys, of course, for the amazing broadcast coming in week after week. It's truly appreciated. Big thanks to Jeff Mathis, who was my personal engineer from Team Watson Racing Setups. Go to twrsetups.com for our setups. We have some Oval Road to Pro folks that have their setups up there. So if you're on the Oval side and you need some good setups for officials or for a contender series, that's a place to go for sure. And yeah, thanks to Gavin, Maxime, Olivia, Dario for making it such a great champ. It was great fighting with them. So yeah, that'll be about it for me.
The race winner, the champion, Drinjin Wang. Congratulations here today on a well-run season and a well-run race. Go party hard. We'll hopefully talk to you again here tomorrow.
Thanks so much, you folks.
Alrighty, Matt. That's a wrap on Season 4 of 2023 for the Mission R Challenge. Your thoughts as we are not done for the day, but we're done with the Mission R Challenge.
Yeah, it was exciting. I mean, we got another good one here today, and a lot of the drivers talk about how it's kind of a unique car and maybe not everybody's cup of tea, but boy, the racing it produces, I don't know how it couldn't be most people's cup of tea, to be honest. So it's been an honor and ready for more. It's been a great season.
Absolutely ready for more. We hope to see you back here with the Mission R Challenge in just a couple of weeks. But for anybody that can't wait to get more Turn 200 racing in, well, you are in luck. Later tonight, it's our first double stream day in just, I think, a couple of years, almost, at least a year and a half since the Thunderdome days. Tonight, we have the Maximum Velocity Snowball Derby. They are running the 150-lap Snowball Derby. With the late model stock car at Five Flags Speedway. It's a whole lot of firsts, but a whole lot of fun later tonight here on Turn 200. So we hope to see everybody there for that. Oh, and by the way, if you join our Discord, you can get the details on how to race in the Snowball Derby, if that sounds like something that you want to do here tonight. Practice will open at 6:30 or 7:30 Eastern Time. I did believe anyway, 7:30 Eastern Time. So, and then the broadcast will kick off about 8 o'clock Eastern. So, that's all we've got for you for now. We hope to see you back later here tonight. If not for the rest of the action that we got here the rest of the week with the Formula Super Series from Mount Panorama tomorrow, the Venom Truck Series from Bristol on Tuesday, the ASRL Sports Car Championship from Lime Rock Park on Wednesday. But that's all we got coming up here on Turn 200. So, we want to thank everybody again with the Mission R Challenge community. Thank you to Dario Frattini and JJ Wang for helping bring us along here for this season, and looking forward to more down the road here. Until we meet again, for the GOAT, the one and only Mr. Matt Williamson, I'm Tommy Cook. We are saying so long from the Charlotte Roval, where Drinjin Wang has won the Sunday Championship, the official championship, and the final race of the season.